Hi there, it is of course a great and glorious, soon to be famous one day Nick Dutch back on the camera again one more time. No, I haven't brushed my hair, and yes, I'm looking an awful lot older. I've done this camera angle before using a mobile phone camera, and that was a couple of years ago, and already I'm starting to look older. One thing I will very quickly say to all people out there who are curious about the possibility of making YouTube videos, a couple of years on YouTube will make you start to look older. Maybe that's proof positive. But on the other hand, proof positive is what I want to address today. And if you think about that, people come onto the internet to try and look out for information, right? This is the information age. So people are looking out for information. But are they really looking out for proof, or are they looking for belief? Are they really looking for faith? Now, the use of logical fallacies is something which happens within arguments. Okay? It just is. But it's used tactically. It's used to increase the following, which a certain individual has. It's used to create more faith. All right? It is a rallying cry to say, we are right, you are wrong. And it is a subtle form of psychology designed to help control people's minds. That's what logical fallacies are really about. It's a tactic. And it can be used successfully by some people, depending upon the audience in question. If one is presenting hard objective scientific facts to a hard objective scientific audience, one should not need to use any form of logical fallacy whatsoever, okay? Because you're just basing everything upon the facts. But those who are arguing against you may end up using logical fallacies of one form or another to undermine you. This is a form of bullying to a certain degree. But it's also just a tactic which is being used. Now, if you're going to play a game, you've got to expect that people are going to play their part. Alright, if I'm playing a game of chess, I can expect the fact that the opposition is going to try and take my king. Okay? That's just the way it is. This is a game. Me talking to you is a move in a game. Sometimes I play it seriously, sometimes I don't play it seriously, sometimes I don't care. But the way in which I'm playing the game is to make you aware that there is a game being played. Am I making sense to you so far? Okay? So when someone asks me for proof of, let's say, one particular form of technology, now I can send you links. Okay, I can send you things which I've seen on the internet. I can send you links to scientific studies maybe. Okay, but that won't necessarily be good enough for everyone. When let's say I was discussing Dean Radin. Okay, Dean Radin is a real, proper scientist. He's using real, proper scientific methodology. And there are some interesting results. The conclusions are still up to a certain degree of speculation, but he's still a real proper scientist, doing real proper scientific investigation. Okay? So why is it that some people say that isn't a proper science? It's they're using a logical fallacy. Okay? They're attacking with a straw man and a misrepresentation of the subjects in question. But the same is true for other forms of science. Okay, like mind-machine technology. Brain wave entrainment technology. There are some established facts of the universe, which are facts, and they are established. Yes, there are some people who are trying to misrepresent the technology, to try and say that this stuff can cure you of everything. I don't think this technology can cure you of everything. I think it can help with some things. It's the sort of technology I would use prior to going out to do some public speaking. It's the kind of technology I would use to help me to get off to sleep at night, or to help me with stress control. And there's different forms of brainwave entrainment which I would use under different circumstances for different purposes. But you've also got to get used to it. And this takes practice. Regular usage. Different individuals will react to it in different ways. I've been using this technology for about 20 years now. I'm much more acclimatized to it. My brain will react positively under most circumstances. Not all circumstances. It depends upon stress levels, nutrition, diets, how much sleep I've been having recently, whether I'm feeling tired, my level of health at the time, and a wide variety of other factors, including, of course, my intake of caffeine and nicotine. All these little factors will affect the result. Okay? And of course, if you're dealing with a result which works on a physical body, there's many more factors and variables than, let's say, when you're dealing with Newtonian physics. That's got to be taken into account as well. So reliable 110% results, if you're using natural science technology upon the human body, you can't actually guarantee you're going to get those 110% reliable results, or 100% reliable results, or indeed 90% reliable results. Okay? It doesn't happen. So yes, there are some people who will lose faith in the technology. But that's predominantly because they misunderstand it, or they're misusing it, or they're relying upon a misrepresentation, or they're believing a misrepresentation of the technology in question. Why do I hold a certain quantity of faith in this technology? Well, I've done some research, and I've done some investigation and experience of the devices, going from the most basic, one of which only had 4 programs, and that was about 20 years ago now, right up to a more modern day form of technology, including Neuroprogrammer 4 software. I think they've probably moved on to another version of that. The Cirrus Mind Machine, and now the Procyon Mind Machine. And I'm about to start exploring the way that the software interacts with that particular mind machine. I've got enough experience to be able to say, I know my stuff. What I haven't got enough experience to be able to do is to say that I can cure you completely of any particular form of malady that you might have under any circumstances. The way I see it is it can be used intelligently and creatively to assist alongside other forms of therapy to enhance the effect. For instance, if you do regular meditation to help you to get off to sleep at night, why not use a mind machine as well? If you're using infusions of lavender and hops to help you to get off to sleep at night, use a mind machine as well. Okay? Can all add to the experience if you use it right and you've done enough research to be able to use your herbal teas, meditation, and the machine properly. If you're going through a course of counseling, you can use brainwave entrainments on top of it, just to try and speed up your recovery, depending upon which programs you're using and how you're using it and who you're using it with. Okay? And this is not woo. This is natural science. And you need to understand it to be able to use it. In my very early days of using a mind machine, and also when I'd spent a bit of time not using it and had to get acclimatized to it all over again, it felt stressful at times. Even when I was using, let's say, a sleep or a deep meditation program, it actually felt stressful lying on my bed with these strobe-like glasses on, with the headphones on, hearing the beeping noises, and with the flashing lights dancing over my closed eyelids. Now that feeling of stress I've come to realize is the adjustment you're going through. You know, the brain adjusting to those frequencies and probably rebelling against it because the brain wants to move into different frequencies or different patterns or to have different forms of chemical activity. So you've got to get acclimatized to it. But I enjoy it and I get great benefits from it, predominantly because I've learned to develop a relationship with it and I've learned to understand it. So the proof positive is using it in my humble opinion.